All right, looks like that's going. So my recollection of last time is not super good, but I believe that Colby showed up at the hotel room where Drake and Shar were, got invited in by Drake. Everyone macked on everyone. Then a bit later on in the evening, I don't know if it's in the middle of the night or whenever, but I think Drake's mom showed up
Yeah, my
and knocked
parents
on
showed
the
up.
door. Yep. And demanded that you come home and you refused. I think, did you like go on a rant about how your life is miserable and you need some space? Or
Yeah,
was that
yeah,
later?
because they were like they've been all up in my butt after Colin died,
Yep.
and so um I was like I yelled at my dad about his tabbouleh and his chakras and stuff, and shut
The,
him down.
the nerve of your parents caring about you.
I know it's really
Where do they even get that
I
from?
know
That's so wrong.
it's not right.
And then I believe you actually did go home because they threatened to call the cops
Right.
on you, right? Okay. And then I think Shar and Colby snuck into your room. Is
I
that
think
correct?
yeah, I think so.
And
Yeah.
spent the night.
Right.
And then,
And then I remember the homeroom scene like
wait,
pretty well.
yeah, that was very vivid. I remember that, but that's the end.
Yeah.
Before that, Gail spent some quality time with Uncle Howler.
Yeah, and
And
Made a deal with him.
yeah, made a deal with him to if what was it? If he would leave me alone or something.
he gets your hot tub for
Yeah, that's right.
21 days or something.
Yeah,
I'll have to go look. Well, at some point, I'll transcribe it.
yeah,
And in return, he was going to go eliminate Uncle Mato.
yeah.
And he came back later that. Oh, wait. Then did you go for a bicycle ride after that
Went for a
because you were so
bicycle.
annoyed?
Yeah, I was so annoyed, so I went off on my bike, ran into Mrs. Oarsman.
Clarice, please.
Clarice. Oh, yes, of
You
course.
should be friends.
Yeah. I ran into that bitch and fled into the woods. But she followed me, and then I had a really disorienting experience and sort of barely made it back to my trailer. Uh, and then at some point, the howler came back and told me that he took care of it. He was covered in blood.
Yep, and had a bullet hole in him from the bald knobbers.
Yeah, that's right. And then
Oh, and he said your dad would be proud of you when you like sent your hot tub somewhere else.
That's
so
right.
that he wouldn't be hanging out by the Airstream
Yeah,
while he
yeah.
was using it.
I made it disappear to some random part of the forest, and
That
he's got to
was
find it if he's
brilliant.
going to use it.
What else?
I think that was pretty much the end of my stuff. I know I came into the homeroom at the very end, but
Yep, you showed up in the homeroom and took Colin's seat,
yeah, that's right.
and
That sparked a whole thing.
yep, and then there was like arguments about who's in the band, who's not in the band, right, Drake?
Right. Who's in the band? Who's not in the band? And
Oh,
whether
you basically told Shar that she could just be replaced, but the band would always be there or something
what?
along that line. And your
Yeah.
gals were like totally backing you up, like one hand on each shoulder.
Right. Because she was like, "Well, you're going to change the name, right?" And I was like, "No, Colin wasn't Speed of Dark. I'm Speed of Dark." And it was. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think I did say something like, "It was here before you." And so she went running off into Colby's arms again. I think setting a record for the shortest time that Shar and I have been back together.
But the making up is so good.
It's so good. That's the problem. But the
So
darkest self is
turned
real.
into a lot of screaming and shouting. Bathsheba actually were speaking as one again.
Oh yeah, and they were dissing me too.
Yeah. So, but Maddie and Lizzie still have your back. And then you got into an argument with Colby, right?
Yeah, I think Colby stepped up to defend Shar.
Yeah, I think it was the everlasting question, why are you such a dick, Drake?
Right.
Well, that's what this whole series is actually about.
Yeah, that's what it is. Did you say you like Nick Drake? No. But yeah, I think that's what happened, and then true to my robotic roots, I went all Terminator.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't remember that. I was just out on a run before I was here, and I was like, "What the fuck happened last session?" Oh,
Yeah, that was amazing. I was like,
yeah, the whole classroom was screaming when you took the scissors to your arm and just cut it open or pulling stuff out.
Yep.
And you had sometime before that, didn't you have a gaze into the abyss where you were, and it was a role that wasn't good, so it was super confusing, and it was like a flow diagram or something, and every outcome was awful unless you kind of followed along after Drake and stayed in his benevolent shadow, essentially.
Right.
And so you basically cut that off at the end here too. That last episode. So I think we ended where you just like, did you leave the classroom or were people just freaking out and everyone's running around? I can't remember exactly how that ended.
I think it just ended in pandemonium.
Yeah, my intention was to leave though.
All right. Well, we'll pick up there. So, Colby, you hit the door at a run, at a purposeful walk.
No, purposeful walk.
All right. Doesn't quite come out of the frame as you hit it. And as you step out in the hallway, there's your sister, Starling.
Okay.
She's got Branson High swag on. Looks like a student. She's got a backpack and a notebook in her hands. And she's like, oh my God, I knew something was wrong. I could just tell. Come with me.
No.
Well, you got to get that taken care of. Did they attack you?
No, I did it to myself.
Oh, that's... Colby, that's not good.
Are you going to say this is fucked up? Because that's what I'm going to say. This is fucked. Now we're fucked up? Why are you here? Like, why are you showing up right now?
I could tell something was wrong.
Okay.
I was right.
I mean, this is like...
We need to get you out of here and take care of you. We can't have people seeing that. And you've got wires hanging out of your arms and fluids dripping.
I would rather stay here with wires hanging out of my arm and explain it to everybody in this school than go anywhere with you.
Go ahead and roll with Cold, even though she's a NPC. That's a shutdown.
For a shutdown?
Yep. Got the link for roll for your party there?
I do. I just don't remember what my Cold was because I think I flipped my stats around.
I think you dumped into Cold.
Yes.
You said, I am going to take a page out of Drake's book and just be mean and
be
good at it.
Well, I knew I knew I would have to shut the fam down. Let's go ahead and roll these guys. That is a 13.
Holy shit. Okay. So on a 13, you get to choose one from below. They lose a string on you. If they have no strings, you get a string on them. They gain a condition, or you can take a +1 forward when interacting with Starling. And she just like kind of rocks back on her heels, and just this wounded look washes over her face.
Strings don't have to be PC to PC, right?
Correct. You can have strings on NPCs, and NPCs can get strings on you.
I will take a string on her.
All right.
1 string.
And you can see tears welling up in her eyes, and she's like, I can't believe you would say that to me. You've known me you've forgotten everything. You've known me, and she does air quotes around known me for just a couple hours, already ran away. I want to help you. I can't believe this. You are so upset.
But how can
I'm
you
getting. Go ahead.
how can you account for whatever that shit was that was going on in the apartment where you were jamming my signal or whatever it was that you were doing? How long were you going to keep me there?
She steps closer to you and she does this look and she's like, that was not my apartment. That's Francesca's apartment. We are not a single unit.
Did you know it was happening?
I did once I got there.
Okay. So I'm not understanding what you did to stop it then. Like, I know you're trying to help me, but like
I was there for a couple hours and I was supposed to immediately upon walking in know that the Faraday cage was activated and that you were being held electronic prisoner based on your interpretation of events. Never mind that Francesca was, I think, trying to protect you from yourself. I mean, look at this behavior. And I'm supposed to read your mind and I can pick up feelings. I can read things off of you. But I think you're putting way too much onus back onto me here. I expected a little more consideration. Just met me, get to know me. Then you can hate me if you want.
look back look back over my shoulder into the classroom, realize that
You can hear, ah!
no, I'm just thinking like well, it's either stay with you or go back in there. I mean, fuck. What's the plan right now?
What's the plan right now? What do you want to do?
Nobody ever asked me that.
I've got your back.
What was your plan when you stopped me? Like, what are you?
I was coming to check on you, and I could tell that things were getting escalated. And I just was hoping to intervene before something that couldn't be undone happened. I just hoped to God that no one was filming this on their cameras or phones in the classroom. Otherwise, then we're going to have to figure out how we're going to deal with Kane for sure.
I don't want to be the kid, and this is out of character. I don't want to be the kid in school who asks the teacher if we have homework. But don't most schools have security cameras?
In the hallways, maybe in the classroom. Yeah, maybe.
But I'm also standing there. In theory, if there's a hallway security camera, I'm standing there with, whatever it is that is my blood dripping out onto the floor and wires hanging out of my arm.
Huh.
So out of character.
Oh, you look up at the cameras in the hallway that you can see. They're those little domed ones with the smoke dome, so you can't tell which way the cameras are pointed.
Right. So as she's saying that,
she's like, yeah.
Kane's probably going to find out about this.
I can help you with that. Remember, data analyst, kind of good with this type of shit.
Fair.
It's just the school district.
Do we need to go somewhere where we can take care of this?
Yeah, we should.
All right.
And I believe you don't want to go back to the apartment. Would that be correct?
The Wi-Fi is not really good there.
And she kind of like does a snort laugh, and then she's like, fair.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
I don't know. I mean, is it something you can do in a coffee shop somewhere?
Yeah, if I can get on some crappy public Wi-Fi network.
Do I have like a hoodie in my locker or something?
Yeah.
Can I just throw it on over the arm?
Yep.
All right. To the coffee shop.
All right. Let's cut back into the homeroom of pandemonium. So people are freaking out. And Drake, Bathsheba turns around, looks at you and goes, what did you do to him? And then they turn around and look at you, Gail, and they're like, you're different. And so I don't know if you know about the twins.
I remember they
Eli,
were
but
featured in an early episode, but I don't remember exactly what's up with them.
around stuff. They disappeared for a while and then came back.
And
Okay.
they're twins.
They're like creepy synchronized twins, right?
They're creepy
Yes.
synchronized twins. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think she turns around and says, "You're different." Gail is wearing this really loose knit shawl kind of thing, and her hair is this very pale yellow color, wavy, of course, and her eyes are this kind of like mesmerizing, almost shifting kind of green. And she's very nonchalantly sitting there, kind of, rolling one of the threads of her shawl. And she sees Bathsheba say this to her, and she gives Bathsheba the down up and is like, "Yeah, I only wear natural fibers."
And Bathsheba, they're both dressed in white, and they hold up, one holds up their right arm, the other holds up their left arm next to each other, and they point with their other hand. Merino wool. Natural fibers are the best. Maybe we could be friends.
Look, you may not be sticking some scissors in your forearm, but I can tell that is fake.
And they turn and look at each other with kind of like, oh my God, could it be? And I'm not sure which one of them looks at the other's tags in the back and like, oh, no, 100% merino wool.
One way or another, it's embarrassing, though, right?
Yes.
Good.
Was that like a shutdown?
Gail kind of, oh, sure. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll with cold.
All right. Let's see. I got to pull up that roll for party link again really quick. Here we go.
Ooh.
7, but I think my cold is not great. I think I got a 6. Yeah, I got a 6.
6, so not so good. So let's see. They are going to give you a condition, Gail.
Okay.
And I think it's, let's see. Trying to decide if it's condescending. What do you guys think? What is it when a hipster tries to shame you about your lifestyle, about not being authentic or real enough?
Mocking? Condescending makes sense to me too.
I think condescending makes sense.
Okay. All right. We'll toss that out there. All right.
All right.
Drake, how are you reacting?
So, Drake is, Drake's Drake, right? Like,
how does this affect Drake?
How does
and
this
Drake's
affect
ability
Drake?
to be happy.
That's right. But the main thing is that Colby's a maniac. But really, the main thing is that Bathsheba dissed me right before this happened. And so when Gail and Bathsheba are having their little fashion off, and I'll walk up and like, I liked you guys better when you were dead.
And they look at you and go, oh, sick burn.
And it's like, hey,
weren't really dead, though.
Balthazar, I mean, I don't, I think it's time that you took the day off. Why don't you go play in traffic and get hit by a car? And I'm using my hypnotic ability
Ooh, on Balthasar.
on Balthazar.
Okay. So tell us that move.
So the move is you can hypnotize people who have no strings on you. Roll with hot. On a 10 up, they do exactly what you wish and have no idea that anything is wrong. On a 7 and 9, the hypnosis works, but choose one. They realize exactly what you've done to them. They fuck up your commands. Their sanity is unhinged.
Can't lose what you don't have, but okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
You're rolling with hot.
I'm rolling with hot.
If only Drake was hot.
It's really, I mean, don't say that. This apocalypse world will fuck you every time you think you get confident. See?
Yeah!
I've never gotten this move to work.
I'm a fan of players, but that's awesome.
I'm so annoyed that I took this move.
You're going to have to swap out your dice. Try a different color out there and roll for your party. Okay. So the hypnosis doesn't work. You told them to go play in traffic. So Balthasar looks in and goes, Mommy talks about you, and then Bathsheba comes in and all the time.
Yes, she need a visit from me. Is Dad not, giving it to her?
They look at each other and look back at you and roll
Because their
with
mom was
cold.
really hot. I remember their mom was really hot.
Yes. There was almost a moment she was watching you from the window when you were climbing out of the pool with your board shorts riding low.
Right.
Roll with cold for shuts
All right.
him down.
Fine. Let's see. So that's +1.
Oh, did you take your XP at least?
Oh, I did not. I'll do that after I roll. I think that's a 7. It is. Yep.
Okay. So that. So.
So I come across poorly.
Well, yeah. So what are you going to choose between strings or giving them a condition or taking a +1 forward on the
I think I'll take a +1 forward.
Yeah. And that's on the unit Bathsheba, both of them.
I don't think it is. I think it's.
Well, you
I
were
think it's
trying
just-
to hypnotize Balthasar. I mean, were you directing that comment about your dad's not giving it to your mom? I think that affects both of them. You've got a +1 forward against
I'm just
both
saying
of
that,
them.
like +1 forward is that's just like I think that's the confidence that you get from shutting
Yep.
someone
Oh,
down.
okay.
And
Yep.
so it's +1
Okay.
to whatever my next roll is.
Okay. Now you should try hypnotizing them, but it's the same scene, so you can't.
I can't.
We should have another scene.
I'll have to
All
hypnotize
right.
somebody else.
Oh, and they need to give you.
Because I need more conditions. Who am I, Charlotte?
They will give you the condition. Oh, good old Christians. We're going to give you the condition peasant.
Peasant.
Because they're loaded.
Mm-hmm. They are.
And you just proved what your low upbringing.
Yeah.
Your course. Oh, maybe I'll change that to course.
Sure.
Because you went right for the making fun of parents. Like a good teen.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this interplay going on back and forth, and Char's there, and she like gets a text message, and she said, "Oh heck, it's my dad," and she just gets up and walks out of the room. So we'll have that to bring her back in. And a couple minutes later, our homeroom teacher, who seems to never be around Mrs. Winters, shows up, and she's just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And everyone's like talking about Colby having done self-harm. And so we're gonna we'll cut away and we'll see that Mrs. Winters is talking with like the vice principal or with Clarice about Colby doing self-harm. So we got Colby back onto, or has Colby interacted with Clarice at all yet? I don't think so. Okay, well now you're on the radar. Awesome. We'll see if you can get rid of footage before she finds it. And let's see. I think we will, unless you two have something you want to do at school, we're going to cut over to, well, you could just, we could have, I'm sorry, go
We
ahead.
could have art class.
Art class? Sure, let's see. Levi is MIA, but everyone else is pretty much in there. All right. Actually, yes. Let us have an art class. So we're going to have simultaneously well, Colby, you've left school with Starling, and you're at the coffee shop where you got fired for not showing up for over a week. Or maybe you're at a different coffee shop. Oh,
I just assumed it would be the one that I got fired from, because
underground, so it can be awkward and weird.
Yeah, or
that's awesome. Hi, this is my sister Starling.
she's from out of town too.
I thought I told you not to come back.
Can't tell him not to come back if he doesn't show up to work.
So we're gonna say kind of same time the art class is about the time that Colby and Starling are at the coffee shop at a table. And let's start with Colby and Starling at the coffee shop. So she sets her backpack down on the floor and she goes, she asks you, what's good here?
I don't know, whatever you want.
Well, I know what I'm getting. I was asking what you would like, I guess. Sorry, I wasn't clear.
No, I'm good. I'm just kind of like, because I left the class. I left the classroom as dark as self, right? And I figured that maybe
I forgot.
On the walk to, or the ride, or however we got to the coffee shop, like I think that went from like we kind of, how do I want to describe it? Like I did the action. There was this bizarre period for a minute where I was like able to hold it together in order to formulate a plan, and then it just started going, and like then the darkest self-ometer just started growing.
Right.
And I think by the time I get to the coffee shop, it's not. It was like twitchy and fidgety and just like waiting for her to get done. Like I don't care. I don't want anything to drink.
Yeah.
Just like pacing around the coffee shop. You done yet? You done yet?
And she comes back with like some sort of frozen frappuccino, and she's drinking some of it, and she's like, you are so agitated. You know, I know it's hard, especially since you don't have your memories. But look, how about we see if we can get rid of whatever footage that school might have of your little freak out? Colby?
Yep. Do that. We need to make sure Kane doesn't find out about this. Just get it done as fast as you can.
And so now we have the hacking montage from earlier today, and what was it, on Slack? I don't remember where. create a time portal. You jump through it, go back. No. Yeah, and she starts hacking in, and she's like drinking her frappuccino, and just it's like, just run some scripts, and she looks back and it's like, it's done. We're good. And
Great.
I'm gonna give her a string on you. Oops. Thought I had a spot for that. It's supposed to be here. And she's like, they're going to call the cops if you can't calm down. Why don't we go for a walk or something?
Fine. Whatever. Sounds great. Let's do it.
And you walk off into the woods, and she looks over and she's like, so feeling like your life is a disaster, completely out of your control?
I mean, sure. I don't really need you drilling around under the hood, but sure.
I'm not going under the hood. I'm just telling you how I have felt.
I mean, I didn't cut my fucking arm open recreationally.
God, I hope not. Look, we all have things that are hard to deal with. And all of us, even Kane, are trapped to a certain extent because of our parents, I guess, for want of better term. And I don't know what I can do besides say that to some extent we're all there in that same spot with you, but we've found ways to cope. But ripping your arm open, all that's going to lead to is more trouble.
If you had to deal with Drake, you'd cut yourself too.
And she looks at it and she goes, would you like me to do something about Drake? I mean,
That's the
we're
first.
family. I've got your back.
That's the first thing you've said that's legitimately gotten my attention.
Hey. And she puts her hand on your shoulder, reaches up because you're taller than her, I think. And she's like, you might not remember things, but know this now. I love you and I've always cared about you. And if someone's trying to hurt you, and she gets this like really hard, sharp look in her face, I will fuck them up.
Well, to be fair to Drake, he's not trying.
Oh, nasty by nature?
Think so.
Yeah, there's always some of those around.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth, again, you're going to run into people like that all your life. And while they're more overt in high school, you got to be able to deal with them without flipping out. Otherwise, you're going to wind up in jail or something when you react the way you really feel. So, Drake. So, is he like verbally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive?
It's hard to describe. I mean, I don't know. I feel like maybe we should find, I don't know if I can go back after cutting my arm open in a public school classroom, but you'd have to observe it. It's hard to describe. I'm not good with emotion words anyway, but if we can somehow figure out how to give you a chance to observe him, you'll understand. I'm not saying I want to do anything about it, because also the last
She
time
looks at you and she goes, I'm registered at school. I'm positive and I can observe that.
fair. But the last time I have to tell you this, and it's the last time I kind of like got a good connection to the data sphere in, it kind of told me some weird shit involving him. And I don't know exactly where it's going to lead. It was trying to tell me to follow him. And I don't know if that's the right course of action, but I don't think we should do anything to him because I don't know where we're going to go. I don't know where this is all leading, but there's something in my calculations of the situation that tells me that he's a piece of it, and I just don't know how it all fits together yet. Does that make sense? We can't do anything yet.
Makes sense. I mean, let's call this the data gathering phase.
Yeah.
Once we have data, then we can make plans. Once we have plans, we can execute them. Meanwhile, over in art class,
Meanwhile,
it's Dreamcatcher Day or something. What is the supposed activity the class supposed to be engaging in?
Is it like self-portraiture?
Oh, great.
Oh, I think that would be excellent.
Yeah. Okay. So Gail is working in physical media. She's assembling some like hay and some sticks and some leaves and berries and stuff into like a little doll of her.
Oh, super cool.
And Drake is painting, and he's got like the hair and like the outline, and like the background is all like filled in, but the face is all missing.
Oh, interesting. And do you get to a point where it's clear that you are stopping and are not going to put a face in there? Or does it just look like you're leaving that for the people around you? Because everyone's looking at everyone else's
Yeah.
work, right?
Yep. And
I think it's been long enough that you've had this blank face. Charlotte is like, I think she's next to you. And,
no, isn't she away?
well, she's not like off on her own.
Gail?
Char? No, you mean
Gail is what I mean. I'm sorry.
okay.
About
All right.
Anyway,
You were being way too nice. No one had died. I was very confused.
I was. Yeah. No, I think I'm sitting next to Drake, and
Okay.
I'm kind of just off in my own little world for a lot of the time. But I look over, and I notice his face is blank, and so I keep working, and I'm like, eventually you're gonna have to finish that.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to kind of like it the way it is. And I look down at your little like doll that you're making, and like you set it down, and I just like pick it up, without asking permission,
Yeah.
and like I'm sort of like turning it over and like. So at first I'm sort of like jokingly like comparing it to you, like holding it out and sort of closing one eye. And then like I think at some point it sort of strikes me that like it really does look like you. Like and
You know what? Roll with dark.
okay. That makes sense. Didn't
In
mean
fact,
to, but
we might have Gail roll with dark looking at Drake's portrait
to
as well.
do it, -1. This is going to go great. I changed my dye color, so this
Oh, I like the
did
hot
not
paint.
help, but I did gain enough XP to gain an advancement.
Nice.
All right.
Okay. So
I got a 9 total.
wow. Okay.
You could I guess you
Yeah,
would have to say it
so-
beforehand. He could have tagged one of my conditions.
Oh, could have.
It's a little late.
I could retroactively allow that if you want to go for a straight up 10.
So
This would not be meeting in the court with your father, the Fairy King.
Yeah. And this is gazing into the abyss.
Yep. So it's the regular one where you just get visions and kind of we'll try to find some ways that set up some additional story hooks that we will then forget about and then circle back to.
Sure. So yeah, to retcon it a little bit, when I'm looking at the face and I say, well, you're gonna have to finish that eventually, Drake says his piece, and then I'm gonna look back at the portrait and I'm gonna be like, there's just no heart in that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that moves you up to a 10. So the abyss is going to show you, Gail, lucid visions. And then we're going to show Drake some visions as well. So, Gail, as you're looking into that blank face, right as you say, kind of heartless, you are like astral projection, like moving through the town and through time simultaneously. And it's night. And the days are rolling back as you're moving, and you come into Drake's home. And time's rolling backwards. So you see him going from sulky teen back to about 8 years old. And in all of these interactions that you're seeing at like high speed reverse, you can see like this energy pouring off the parents into Drake. You don't know. It's not super clear whether he's draining something from them or they're giving something to him. But as that rolls back and you're seeing just normal like kid interactions, studying at the table, dad there or mom there with them doing homework and things like that. And you're seeing all this energy flowing, and it's never coming from Drake back to them. It's a total one-way street, whether it's being given away or taken. And you get back to about like 11 years old, maybe I should say. And you just see Drake essentially pop and disappear. And then it's his parents sitting at the table with all this like ritual paraphernalia and salt diagrams on this wooden table and stuff. And then a breeze comes and blows that across. And you are pretty sure that Drake was somehow brought into being by his parents and is sustained in some way by their willingness to love him and care about him. And Drake just takes and takes and takes.
Okay, so you said the vision, I'm watching him grow up from like 5 to 8 or so, and I can see him.
I changed that to be at 11.
Okay.
Like right on that prepubescent thing is when, because I think we had said that there weren't really any like baby pictures or anything like that in the house.
So the impression I get then is like Drake sprang into being as a result of a ritual from his parents at like age 11, and he leeches their love and affection off of them.
Or they're just feeding it to him.
Okay.
And another thing that's not super clear, but they may not even be aware anymore that they did that they may have purposefully deluded themselves into believing that Drake is the real deal. Not 100% sure on that, but they're definitely just incredibly invested in Drake and his well-being. So Drake, you're holding this doll in your hand. And you start feeling this burning running up your arm, and you can see tendrils growing out of the doll. and twisting up your arm and going into your skin, and there's a burning from inside, like poison ivy on the inside of your arm, and you can feel it traveling towards your heart and constricting around it. And then the doll's eyes open up, looks and goes, fake. And you drop the doll, and you're just standing there, and the doll is damaged. Pieces have come off. And that's when you snap out, Gail, and you see the doll hit the floor. That maybe is what brought you back when we saw that ritual circle blow away in your vision.
So it drops, and Gail's first reaction is, no wonder nobody likes you, and like bends down to pick up.
Roll cold, please.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are so mean.
9, but my cold is -1, so only 8.
So mixed result. So you get to choose one from the list below. If they have a string on you, you can have them lose that.
Let's see. Do I have a string?
Oh wait, I have +1 forward on him. Does that bring me up to a 9?
Yeah, 9 is same result.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. And +1 forward, does that mean the next roll, or does that mean forever?
Yeah, it's the next roll unless it's like an ongoing.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I forgot to add my +1 forward on my last roll, but
it wouldn't have mattered.
Right, but I should get rid of it anyway.
Yes. Yeah, because I always forget about those conditions. I look at, but I lose track of the.
Yeah.
In fact, that's one of the reasons I don't take +1 forwards when I'm playing
the
game as a player, because I can't remember them. Okay, so mixed result on shut someone down. So if they have a string, they can lose it. Okay, so you could get rid of a string, which is a hold that Drake has on you. Or you can give Drake a condition. Or you can have a +1 forward for your next roll.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lose that condition. Or the
string.
Okay. And then, Drake, you get to assign a condition to our little lady.
All right. I think just like the rest.
Oh. Not conflict free.
Yeah, that's cold.
Oh. Where am I typing this?
Whoops, I may have been in that cell messing with you.
Get out of there.
I am out. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Oops.
Okay. So let's talk about what sort of other self-portraiture we have, just for fun. A classroom. Balthasar and Bathsheba have done where it's a mashup of the two of them, and they've done it in stained glass. God. Maybe this has been being worked on for a series of several days. And it's really weird, but kind of super cool at the same time. And the art teacher is like annoyed, but impressed. Annoyed because it's supposed to be a solo project, and they didn't, although they claim it's solo. But she's like, it's so freaking cool. You like see her take a snap, and she's probably putting it on teacher Instagram for people to see. What do you think Maddie or Lizzie would be doing, Drake? Do you even know them well enough to know what they might do?
Oh, for sure. So Lizzie's making like a fake album cover.
Oh, with her on it?
Yeah.
I dig it. Is it like kind of metal?
But I think I think it's a little like, I think she's using like stencils and spray paint and stuff. And So she's got to like, so every once in a while she has to like go outside and like spray the shit out of it, and then she comes back in. So it's just like,
And she's kind
layered.
of like a little like maybe
Yeah.
she's been inhaling a little paint out of a paper bag
Mhm.
while she was there.
And I think Maddie's is just like fucking sparkles and rainbows. You know what I mean? Like hers is bright colors, and um it's this sort of like magical scene that she sort of like worked herself into.
All right. All right. I've got an idea for Alyssa's self-portrait.
Hmm.
So was that artist Chuck Close who does like that all that where he makes an image out of lots of other little images?
Okay.
And she's made an image of herself, and it's composed of different shapes of pills and colors just used repetitively. Alyssa's the class dealer, by the way, Gail, if you ever need. And she might be looking to start buying from you if she finds out you have really good stuff.
Indeed, I do.
Let's see. Well, Cassandra, she was running for class president.
Mm,
What sort of portrait would she have?
I think it would be like, I think she's just like literally copying her headshot.
Yeah, she's going for as realistic as
As realistic
possible.
as possible. She's got her headshot like tacked up onto the edge of the board, and and she's just like doing it like grid by grid.
Yep.
Do you guys mind if I take a quick bio break?
Yeah, that's cool. Actually, I'll grab another water here.
Sounds good.
So, like 2 minutes or so.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Be right back, folks. It was great seeing you, Jim.
All right.
I'm coming up on my first advance, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. It's very exciting.
I don't even have the playbooks.
Um,
I put them all away after I came back from Origin. So while we're
basically, I can add one to my stats, or I can take a Fey move or a move from another skin, or I belong to a jury of Fey, which we get to define together.
ooh. Well, I would take whatever feels the most fun for you and kind of is the direction you see Gale going.
Mm-hmm. I'm
I
tempted.
mean, mechanically, bumping a stat has the most ongoing effect, but it also can be less character growth around that.
Right. I'm tempted to choose Guide, which, when I spend a string on someone willing, I can bring them across the veil into the fairy realm.
Oh, you want to go tripping with me?
That'd be such a blast, right? But I also see the Ghost playbook has a move called Limitless. You can walk through walls and fly. And I'm like, what if Gale could become a Gale? That'd be interesting.
I would say though that jury of Fae seems kind of, I don't know, like she got elected to this committee of something and then like now gets to be judgmental in an official capacity.
Right.
And like I don't know. I know like jury is not that's not, I don't know if that's the word they're going for, but like that, except for spending all the time in meetings, sounds like kind of a fun way to live life.
Yeah,
really
you could see that as being almost punishment too, because of responsibility, right?
for sure. I like the doorway it opens into being able to do something on a systemic level about Clarice, though.
Yep.
If I get invested with some authority.
So where's the jury?
Which move was this last move?
You belong to a jury of Fae.
Oh, that's not what it's called. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the advancement options. It's not a move. And elsewhere in the book, it says that there are some moves, and it includes this one, Jury of Fae, where basically it gives you a tantalizing title, and you define what that means.
Sure. Oh, I didn't even look to see what the Queen's was.
Well, you were trying to build the Uber controller.
Oh, take click again and detail another gang. Oh, that's funny. My other cooler gang you guys didn't know about because they live in Canada.
All right. So Colby, are you still darkest self? Do you still need to find a way to alleviate that?
I know I definitely haven't done the official.
Right. Feeling like
criteria.
someone's more trapped than you?
Right.
Oh, I know how to do that.
Oh, okay then. I'm going to go along for the ride because I feel like there's a softball behind my eye. But we're going to do this.
Yep. And we probably don't have a whole lot of play left. I know what it's like to
Go
have
for it.
migraines. So
I'm not there yet. I probably have a good 30 to 60 minutes. So go ahead.
okay. So babing, you get a text. It's from Olivia.
Oh dear.
And it's like, she's still hurting me. And do you see a picture of her hand and it looks like one of her fingers has been broken? Can you help? So now go ahead and clear darkest self. There's someone who's trapped in some shit at least as bad, if not worse, than you.
Mm-hmm. Look over at Starling. How good are you at like possibly planting digital evidence of some kind on somebody?
I probably could do a pretty good job. What sort of thing are we talking about?
So
And
I,
who?
so I have a friend whose parents.
Holy shit! She grabs the phone from you.
Yeah, this is a pattern. They've been doing this kind of. Her parents have been doing this kind of stuff to her for a while now. If we could if she wants to, could we manufacture a way to get her out? Could we plant something on her parents to make them look really bad? We probably need to make sure that, I don't know, that she had a place to go. We'd probably have to bring Charlotte in on it. Something.
Charlotte, she's one of your friends, right?
In as much as I have any. But she's definitely friends with Olivia. They've been friends for a long time.
Ah, okay. So are you thinking like something that would the one thing I'm worried about is if we do something is that Child Protective Services would potentially get involved. And then it's out of everyone's control what's going on with Olivia. How old is she?
I don't know. How old is she? Out of character.
Yep.
Close enough.
Uh,
Close enough
she-
to 18.
She's 17 probably.
Yeah, I
I
thought
think
so.
you guys are juniors. I don't remember at what age you can become emancipated in Missouri, but it might well be 16 down there because it's Missouri.
You can drive at 12. I don't know. I mean, that's a fair point. I don't know. I don't know what we can do. Feel terrible leaving her like this.
I mean, I can make it look like there's been embezzlement or
I mean, you could plant some
child porn
dirty
or
pictures on their computer remotely, and that'll dry things up real quick. But then you're right. I don't know if they'll place her in foster care if she's so close to 18. I don't know how that works. I literally can't remember 2 months ago. So just a second. Sorry. Cat emergency.
That's my cat emergency at 2 a.m.
We've had a little trouble with peeing recently.
Oh,
Uh,
not good.
Anyway, so I mean, you're probably right. Like I'm not thinking clearly. I think that I want this to stop, but I don't know how to make it stop. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think it would be good to have some way to get back into good graces with the friends, considering that I just sliced my arm open in school and walked out in a trail of blood and oil. I'm just trying. I don't know. I'm not thinking right.
And she reaches over and grabs your hand as you guys are walking along the path and said, "We'll figure it out together." And let's cut back over to people making plans to hang out or something. I say,
Not yet. We have to arrive there in the fiction.
okay.
Right.
So we've just had dull destruction and trippy visions.
Yeah.
Maybe a little insight into Drake for Gail.
Yeah. And I just shut you down as well.
Right.
All right.
So, yeah, I say this. No wonder no one likes you. And then I pick up my doll and I'm sort of like putting it back together and looking at the clock because it's close to the end of class.
And I say, I don't know what I say. I'm really stuck. I keep having the wind knocked out of Drake's sails by these rolls, and and
You could reference something about the vision if you
Yeah.
want to push that.
yeah.
Or you can go back to being super confident Drake and go hit on Maddie or Lizzie.
So I say, look, I'm sorry about your doll. It was cool. It was kind of overwhelming. I'm it's got something in it. I don't know, I haven't seen anything like it.
So Gail, does the doll actually have something in it? Can you help yourself when you're making art?
Not right now, but I mean, who knows what grows in the things of nature.
Well, anyway, yeah, I got to think about this, and I sort of gesture vaguely to the empty face, but I start getting my bag ready to go because it's a couple minutes till the bell starts. If I drag this out long enough, the bell will ring, and then it'll be time to skip out on art class.
Typical
Yep.
Drake.
Yep.
And this is probably we'll say this is last class of the day.
Sure.
And indeed, as you're doing this, end of period, everyone's packing their shit up, putting away their supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Gale is, as people are putting things away and Drake is kind of not paying attention. I think Gail's kind of nervous to look at that painting again just because it was so strange. No. She's at peace. She came through it on the other side. Yeah, she's looking at this portrait of Drake's again, and she keeps having these flashbacks to these circles. And she's thinking about how that's alien but not unfamiliar to her. Witch magic is something that she's seen in connection to the natural world of Branson, Missouri, but it is not part of the natural world. It's adjacent to it. And she's thinking about leads she may have to the pagan community and how she can figure out more about this, because it's really unsettling to her that everybody she's met is weird like this in some way.
Yeah, you fell in with the wrong crowd for sure.
No kidding. And she's tried to make friends with these people and it's blown up in her face almost every time. And I think it's a matter of self-preservation at this point. It's a harsh natural world out there, and Gail's got to figure out some stuff to do to protect herself. So I think she's looking at this portrait to kind of just remember all the details there. And her plan is to make contact with some of these forces, I guess, as soon as she can.
Okay,
So I'm
go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I was so I'm to get my stuff together, and I'm Maddie, Lizzie, let's go. Got some. Let's come up with a new song.
And they're like, yes. And they roll off with you.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think I want to follow them out, but unassuming. I want to kind of sneak behind them and see if I can. Something's weird, and I want to find out some more here. I want evidence of the weirdness that's going on, what he can do because of this strange origin.
Okay. So you're gonna kind of drift along. So you going back to your place to try to hash something out, Drake?
I think we play. Where did we play last time? I must have been in our place.
Yeah, that was in your garage.
Yeah. So we'll go back
Where you
to.
guys had that epic, like 20-minute watchtower cover.
Right.
You guys
And,
did.
Am I gonna notice Gail like trailing me?
It might be more interesting if you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something you have to roll for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more than happy to let you guys negotiate how you would like to play that out. I mean, it creates a certain tension and ability for you to either try to lure Gail in if you know she's back there, or to mislead her if you know she's back there.
So I think I have an idea. So we're going out, and I sort of catch her out of the corner of my eye, and so I just steer the group down a hallway that's like emptied out already, because the class just like explodes out when the bells ring, right? And so we take this turn that like kind of a little bit takes you to a little bit of a dead end in the school, and I'm kind of counting on Gail just to like follow along. And when she comes around the corner, like the three of us are standing there, and so that we can have a confrontation.
Oh boy.
I dig it. So Gail, you come around the corner and the three of them are like lined up shoulder to shoulder, kind of.
Oh, what are you doing here?
Why are you following me? And like I step up like real close to you, and I'm like, what's your what's your deal? What do you want?
I just want to know what's going on around here, okay? Like, I haven't paid much attention to these people, and all of a sudden, everything's weird.
Yeah. Welcome to high school. Like, we're going to go to band practice. What are you doing?
Shit, that's a good question. I think, oh man. Like, I want to roll inner conflict right now. I think Gail's been caught dead to rights, and she was planning on like figuring out what's up here, and she is like, well, I don't know, do normal high school kids play in a band?
Oh my God, Drake. She doesn't even know what the name of your band is or anything.
It's like, yeah, we're Speed of Dark. We're the best.
Speed of Dark.
Like, look, fine. Why don't you come hear us? You clearly don't have anything better to do.
A lot of thoughts flash through Gail's head about the other things she could do, and she decides, yeah, okay, fine. Let's see what you're all about.
Like, all right. And hey, you know, if you feel like it, I got lots of extra instruments. Why don't you pick something up? Maybe jam with us.
Yeah, we'll see.
Wow. Okay. This is going to be fun.
I was waiting for be ready to have your socks blown off or
Fucking
something.
face melted.
Except for that's not quite the speed of dark, is
It's
it?
not. No.
All right. So I think we'll cut over to the garage where the band's doing their thing and figure out a scene there. Colby. So Starling, it's like, look, we need some intel, right? If we're going to try to help out Olivia.
We do. I admit that was not a fully formed plan when I, put it out there.
No, but I get that you want to help this girl. What's going on? I mean, at least with us, we could be remade, right? Multiple times we were.
Mm-hmm.
Humans, not quite so easy.
Not really. We don't get a lot of chances to mess this up.
So I could pull the old Jehovah's Witness Act.
What's the Jehovah's Witness Act?
But that's where
I know that at some point.
go proselytize at the door just to get a look in and get a physical on who the parents are. You don't remember. It's so
No.
frustrating. You don't remember the stuff we used to do.
No. Yeah,
Or
it's either the Jehovah's Witness Act. Can't really do the Mormon routine because there's only one of me. And I've never really worked out a last name, so I'm Elder. Maybe the JW plan is the best plan. I mean, we could also. I mean, it's probably more direct to just go to the front door, right? Instead of trying to creep around at night or some crazy shit.
well, that's my first thought, and I don't know if they know any. Have they met you? Have you met them? But you've seen her
They've
mom.
seen me. We went out to a diner one night, and her mom saw me. So there's a chance. It wasn't that long ago. There was a chance she would recognize me, but she only saw me for a few minutes.
Hmm. Well, I don't want to go Mission Impossible on this because if it goes wrong, she could get really hurt.
Yep. I mean, the front door seems reasonable. Or, again, we could just get in touch with Shar somehow. I mean, she's probably still at school, which is where I'm supposed to be, but she would at least know. She would know what the parents were like. She would know. She might even be able to help us with the plan.
Okay. Let's not push our luck then.
I mean, we probably don't have to go all crazy with this.
Okay, cool.
We can wait a little bit until we can get a hold of her.
Yeah. Well, why don't you go ahead and text Shar and we'll try to get a meet set up.
Fair. Yeah, just flip open the phone, text Shar. We should meet up after school today. I have something I want to talk to you about. Okay. Send tweet.
I'm just making a note so it gets passed on to Shar.
I could also throw it in the Slack if you want. In the character chat channel.
Yeah, in the character chat channel. Yeah, that would be cool. because that could even be played out a bit over Slack. She's like, okay, well, so let's wait to hear back from Shar. And in the meantime, where the heck are you staying now that you're back in Branson if you're not going back with stay at Fran's place?
That is another plan I don't know a whole lot about right now. I had holed up in an abandoned motel for a while. Probably not the best idea to go try to like see if Drake has any suggestions or anything. Got any bright ideas? We could do a hotel for a night or something.
Well, I'm sure I could work something out for you.
Work something out for me.
I could get you an apartment as long as it's not real expensive. Get
Interesting.
you set up.
Systems
I've
analysis.
got funds. Yes. Yes, it does.
Well, I mean, yeah, if we can find a place that will rent on short notice.
I'm sure we can find something. You know, we could Airbnb to start. Take it from there.
Yeah, or you know, an extended stay type place or something. That would work too. But
Yeah,
Airbnb,
and as the MC, actually, those extended stay places are kind of creepy, so that's a really good idea.
it's kind of what I wanted. It's a step up from the goldenrod, but not like, you know,
Right.
It's
It
not
actually has
far
running water.
right. It's not too far removed that it's going to weird me out even more.
Yep. All right. So she gets you checked in. She gets 2 rooms. One for you, one for her. All right. So what's this band practice like having Gail sitting there in the garage?
It's weird, right? Like,
Because you had planned on trying to be creative and come up with something new.
So I think we start playing some of our our regular songs.
Slack message.
Yeah. And but at some point we bend into just jamming for a while. And it's one of those things that I think unless you're into it, it's pretty boring. It's
Like me watching the Grateful Dead.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've been to somebody's band practice before, but it's not fun. It's boring. Because they'll fuck up and start over and do hit on things that don't work or go off somebody will take a solo that goes too long or whatever. It's not. And I think but I'm hoping that we kind of shut Gail out a little bit, so she's unless she somehow breaks in, that we form this little unit again. I think that's what Drake's looking for. And I think it'll feel very it'll I think Gail will feel very outside.
So you're just being that awful host.
Look, I didn't want her here, but also this is what we were going to do, and she didn't believe us. So she can break. I think she can break in, but it has to be her choice.
What style of music do you play?
I think we style our style like. I think it's sort of like Pearl Jam meets the Decemberists.
Okay.
A little like grungier and a little dirtier,
Uh-huh.
Drake, I think, fashions himself quite the wordsmith.
Yeah,
My
okay.
guess was slightly dirtier The Cure.
Oh, sure.
What instruments do you have in this band?
Well, we don't have a keyboard player anymore because Levi murdered him. But Drake plays guitar. And I think Maddie's on
Lizzie is
drums.
the bassist and Maddie's on drums.
Okay, so a guitar, a bass, and drums.
Right,
And then you as the singer.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Um so I think Gail is sitting here, on I imagine like a workbench or something.
Yeah.
Kind of hoisted herself up onto it and is sitting here watching this, and it's really boring. And she's like uncomfortable on this bench. She keeps leaning back, and there are tools that are there, or whatever, like your dad's
Right.
tools or whatever. And she starts like picking at her fingernails, and she's twirling her hair and stuff, and it's just going on forever. It's really boring. And she's like, look, so I've listened to you for a little while, and I think we just like different genres of music. Okay, I'm more of a folk kind of vibe, and clearly you're doing something different. So I don't think I'm going to stick around.
Yeah, fine. See you later.
And that's right when your mom comes out into the garage with a pitcher of lemonade
Oh, sure.
and glasses. And she's like, oh, I was so happy to hear you guys playing. I know it's got to be hard after what happened with Colin. And, oh, I'm sorry. Who are you? And sure enough, Gail, this is definitely the woman you saw in the vision
Yeah.
of Drake from. Are you joining the band? And she looks between you and Drake.
This is Gail. But she was just taking off. Gail's just my mom.
Gail hops down from the bench and kind of like flits over to the mom and is like, "Oh, lemonade! I love lemonade. Is it all natural?"
It sure is.
Ah, wow. Can I have a glass?
Oh, definitely.
Great, great. So whenever her mom hands the glass out, Gail's gonna take it by like touching the glass, but also his mom's hands or hand on both sides. And in that moment, I want to look up into her eyes, and my eyes were like a really kind of mesmerizing green
Yep.
at the beginning of this, and I think they immediately shift chameleon wise into the clear blue of the sky. And I want to try and see clearly into her and see if I can get some sort of glimmer of what was happening.
So this is gazing
earlier.
into the abyss.
Yeah, I think so. All right. So
Roll with your dart.
7, 8 total, I believe.
All right.
Yeah.
So that is a mixed result. And what was it you're trying to suss
I just
out?
want to get echoes of what I saw this morning, but maybe from the other direction. Maybe get a better idea for the intentions
her
of these
vision
parents.
of what that relationship is like.
Yeah, because like from Drake's perspective, I saw he leeches and he's totally fine to do that, but I want to see what the feelings are like from the other perspective too.
All right. So on a mixed result, the abyss shows you confusing and alarming visions, but you get your answer nonetheless.
Ooh, wait a second. Okay, I've got strings on Drake. I've got 5 strings on Drake. Can I spend more of those at a time than just one?
I'll let you do that because that's too many strings to be sitting on.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
I'm going to spend 2 strings to take me from 8 up to 10.
All right. So you're going to have, again, a more meaningful, clear vision. Okay.
Yeah.
So as your hands touch both sides of Drake's mother's hand, and your eyes have gone that blue, and you guys kind of like your eyes meet for just a second, and it's like you're falling into her head, and you see essentially you're getting a front load of the memories of what her perspective, what her and her husband's life was like before Drake came along. And it was empty and meaningless. And you know that they tried for years to have a child and found out that husband was sterile. And you get the montage of the crying and sadness around that. And then you get this thing where, they're going to fertility clinics and all sorts of stuff.
Okay, can I X card this particular part?
Yes, you sure can.
Thanks. It's hitting a
Yep.
little close to home.
Yep. No worries.
Can we make
So-
it that there was a son before Drake?
Oh, that was lost or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Okay. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So they had a child and tragic accident happens. In fact, I have a friend this happened to. The kid fell into the pool because the gate to the fence surrounding the pool wasn't closed. And so they lost the child. And for several years, their marriage is kind of destroyed. They're blaming each other, themselves for it. And then they decide what they really need is, maybe we should adopt, bring someone into our life. And Drake's dad has been getting into all this new age stuff and wasn't there beforehand. And
That
along
was
with
his
all,
coping mechanism, right?
yep, yep. And there's like this, again, a montage of him getting into more and more esoteric things. And eventually you see where he's giving her stuff to read about magical rituals and summonings and evocations like that. And they literally decide that, why adopt when they could make the perfect child themselves and call it into being. And they want this so bad that they actually, when they rationally invoke this tulpa of Drake, they also cast a spell on themselves to totally believe that Drake had always been here. And their minds just glide over anything before he shows up. They've gotten rid of all the stuff from the first child, and all of their relationship, at least as she views it, is super positive while it's frustrating at times. The joy of having Drake in their life and having their perfect child is a huge rush. And her biggest fear is that got 1 year left and then he might want to go off to college and they'll lose their child again.
Can I ask a question? That was a really interesting thing. Can I ask a question about it? When they sort of retcon the presence of the first child, did they retcon the strife? Like, or did they think that they were like having problems
I think
with
it went
something
all.
else?
I think what they did is they just kind of soft focused it, and they know that they had some difficulties, but it's not like they don't have those memories of hurtful, distinct words being used against each other or themselves. So
Okay.
it's just like it was the bad times, but we don't remember the specifics of the bad times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay,
They soft focused it,
that's
I think.
fair.
Yeah. Okay. And so the impression that I get is that they summoned a tulpa, and that tulpa is Drake.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Gale receives this vision, and this isn't the way people remember it happening, but it turns out that static electricity can totally just shock you while you're already touching something. Huh, who knew? There's a jolt between Gale and Drake's dad, and Gale kind of like pulls her hand away really quick. Maybe the lemonade falls and breaks.
Well, it was the mom that brought it up, but yeah, the pitcher falls and
Yeah. Sorry, I'm so clumsy.
No, are you okay, hon?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I think I am gonna go though. Yeah. So Drake, great seeing you. You two girls, and I'll see you in class.
Yeah, I mean, if you change your mind, you can drop by again.
Yeah, I'll think about if your sound is appropriate for like a mandolin or an accordion or something, and I'll let you know.
Oh, I can play the mandolin.
I think Gale just does offer this kind of like single chuckle, just a single chuck, and then like gets her.
I give you one chuck.
and then like signs off and goes out to get on her bike.
And Drake, your mom looks over. She's down on the floor picking up the pieces of glass, and Maddie and Lizzie are helping her.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at you and she's like, "Oh, I got the weirdest like shock."
Yeah,
And I touched her hand.
I think she shuffles her feet or something, because same thing happened in art class earlier today, and I like go and I get the broom and the dustpan and stuff, and like actually help her clean it up and actually be a decent son for
Oh my
half a
God.
second.
Hold on. Let's see if we have some conditions we need to clear. We might have to. Please remove Heartless.
All right.
And remove Course.
All right.
But you're still all talk, mister.
Oh, I know. I'll learn to play that fucking mandolin.
I think that's you wander the woods looking for the airstream, strumming a mandolin, singing the Giant of Illinois. So sidebar. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago I saw Puddles?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Betty Clown?
How was that?
It was freaking amazing. So my buddy accidentally wound up buying VIP tickets. He's like, I don't understand why these are so expensive. And so we got to sit down before the show, and Puddles just played acoustic, no mic or anything. And oh my God, his voice is flipping amazing. So powerful. It was.
I believe it. I can't imagine what it's like in person.
Yeah, it was just like shivers. And he sang that folk song, The Giant of Illinois. I can't remember who originally sang that. But yeah, it was an amazing show.
Can you send me some links? Because I don't know Puddles.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
Gladly. Yeah.
Just drop them in the Slack or whatever in the random channel. No, I've been so out of touch with music and stuff, so it's good to get.
Really, I never think of you as being out of touch with music.
I just have good taste in older music, so it just seems like
one thing I will say is I work really hard and not dwelling.
Yeah, I think nostalgia is death
in the rut.
So.
I mean, to be fair, you can be very in touch, and if you're not looking in the right corners, you're not going to find Puddles.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I got Puddles by the power of the algorithm. I was talking with my friend. I can't remember who I was watching beforehand. Not Pentatonics. Maybe it was Brass Against the Machine or something. And
he showed up on Postmodern Jukebox.
Oh, that's who it was. Okay. No, Gogol Bordello.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And
there's a connection between those two?
Evidently YouTube. Well, based on my whole if you saw my listening history, it's nuts. I would be everything from opera to dubstep to punk.
That's amazing. Okay.
So I like to think of myself as very well-rounded. I like almost everything except I'm trying to be better about modern pop music
Yeah.
because the lyrics sometimes are so fucking like I've like just discovered Billie Eilish and I'm like, oh fuck. This kid is amazing. In fact, so like yet another sidebar. So I ran Hallway Monsterhearts at Origins, and I had Tom Flanagan and his son Thomas Austin played, and Eric Bontz, Weirgator, was in there, and we didn't get to prom. It was going to be going to prom, but a whole bunch of side stuff. But the everyone was really excited because the band that was playing at prom was Bish, and it's a Billie Eilish cover band.
Nice.
I was really proud of myself with coming up with Bish. Bish,
love it.
please.
Oh, that just does anybody listen to My Dad Wrote a Porno?
I've listened to
Oh,
like 2
that
episodes.
sounds familiar.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. But so it's a business entrepreneurship porno that he wrote about the pots and pans industry.
Oh my god.
And
Okay.
the rival pots and pans industry is called Bish.
Oh.
God.
Oh god. So your
Alrighty.
standard has children based on his knowledge of anatomy. But anyway, yeah. I feel like we've wandered off the
Yeah, I've kind of run out of steam here unless someone's got a scene they want to do.
I'm
No,
good.
I think we're good.
I mean, no cliffhanger.
Drake was a human being, cliffhanger.
Well, I want to get to Friday night for the party at the hangar.
Oh yeah,
or field house.
with
Field
the
house is
honeybees?
what we call it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've got a couple things for sure I want to do there, but Char is important to have.
I gotta steal. Was it Brandy? What's her name? Brittany. Brittany. I gotta steal Brittany away from Levi.
Well, Brittany's going to be performing there.
I know.
So I've already got a song picked out for her.
All right.
Is it Total Eclipse of the Heart?
No. What it is, I'll go ahead. I don't have any problems in advance.
It's Moondance.
No.
That's what it is.
God,
I don't really want to know what it is.
Okay, well then I'll save it for our next.
We've eliminated 2 of the songs in the known universe, and that's enough for me.
That means there's only 5 left because there's not more than 7 of anything.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone tells you.
No,
it's just the same thing over and over with a slightly different skin on it.
There's 8 GM skills according to Phil. We don't know what they all are, but there's 8 of them.
Well, if I have to pick someone I'm going to agree with at the misdirected mark, it's probably going to be Phil. So the whole way Austin and I met those guys is we were at Gen Con and we had 4 hours in between things. It's back when we used to actually sign up for games and not just hang out at Games on Demand the whole time. We're like, oh, there's this thing called Play Better Games, damn it. That sounds like fun. And so we go over there and I'm like, oh shit, I've heard these guys on a podcast somewhere. And I walked in with a Gaming and BS shirt on and they're like, yay. And so that's how.
That's funny.
That's how I became family.
I thought it was that you just, slept on people's couches until they decided to adopt you.
Is that an option?
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
I'm going to start couch surfing.
You can also use, I think, like abandoned motels for that. You can sleep in abandoned motels for a while, and eventually you actually just start owning the hotel.
People do get kind of upset about that, though, if you spread it around. So
When you see an intruder.
All right.
All right. Think we'll call it an evening. Let's see. Oh, I need to stop this. I thought I already had.